What's good, y'all? It's time for Tower Stage 1 through 3, and the way we'll take this is by giving you two teams. Number 1 is going to be an epic only team, and number 2 is going to be the team needed to get the full amount of points. We're going to start with the first stage, and for the first stage we take reducing the number of heroes by 3, reducing cost regeneration by 20%, increasing enemy HP by 30, and increasing monster CC resistance by 50%. One thing of note here is that awakenings play a role. So even though everything is equalized, awakenings on characters do actually play a role. And the way we'll solve this is by... We might need to later down the line awaken our lords, but for now Ein is unawakened, Baron is unawakened, and all the other units, so Iona and Soleil are 5 awakened. Alright, yeah, before I once more forget about it, if you do appreciate the effort, feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe, it would help me out a lot, and I hope you enjoyed these 30 minutes of suffering that were probably more like 6 hours for me. Hehe. Alright, so here we go, very first stage. And something I have to say beforehand is that especially for these epic only runs, RNG is a factor. For example, awakenings, there's crit rates, so if I'm not wrong, Iona should have between like 5 or 8% crit rate, which might or might not make the difference or change the way my run looks versus the way yours will. And also there is certain percentage chance in kits, and we're running I is going to play, so Icy kits are not always the same. So it's not always going to be quite exactly same run. So you might have to actually restart the run to get some better RNG. Right here we'll be bringing in Soleil, and yeah, what we did there is just bring in Iona early so she can recharge her ultimate, and then bring in Mary to slow down these guys. Right here at 25 it's time to bring in Greed. And here we're actually going to slow down time a bit. This guy is going to die because all 3 mages are going to be able to attack him. And then here it's going to be important that we actually activate Soleil's ultimate, because we're definitely going to need those bounces to reliably take care of these guys. There we go. Nice, nice. Here we're pretty fine. But for the next ones, we're actually going to have to obviously activate Iona's ultimate. But we will be waiting quite a while. We should be able to get away without it. Just in case it's activated, and we might even be still able to hit those guys, because nothing is more frustrating than that guy just straight walking through. So here we can fast forward time. Let these guys come in close, if they so desire. And then we're actually going to once more activate Soleil's ultimate. And also go with the Mary freeze this time. Go on. There we go. Nice job. Alright, now we have these beautiful, beautiful tower mages. And the way we're going to be dealing with them is, number 1, as soon as they both decide to attack that is when we bring in Ein. And Ein is going to not only delay him, but also start laying in some nice damage into them. So he might actually be able to kill one of those guys. And it might even be even easier for you if you do actually have Ein's A5. Which we are not using here, so if your Ein is struggling a bit, make sure to actually A5 him. Alright, here we'll actually bring in Baron to stop that guy from moving into our core. And Soleil did actually survive, which is really nice, but it's also not super needed. Here we'll be freezing with Mary. And then we can fast forward time. before that guy hits Baron, we'll be activating the shield, just to give him some more survivability options. We'll be bringing in I mainly as like a distraction, and then Ein so we can start laying into these tower guys. So if everything goes perfectly, one of these tower guys should already be low HP, and then there is a chance that they get taken care of early. Or for example here, you might need to place a second mage to try and take care of them. Luckily enough, these guys do wait around quite a bit with these weird bubbles around them, and that really buys you enough time to potentially swap in different units just to kind of hold their attention and then overall kill them. Something that's also very possible is for you to actually place down Ein later. So instead of what we did here, you could take out, you could place an Ein a bit later. And something that I should really pay attention to later in this fucking video is not clearing these stages, because we only have 15 entries and I already wasted 2 of them on getting 10 points in the first stage. Alright, yeah, time for stage 1, 16 out of 16. We'll be using Boreas, Hex, Mary and Valeria. But honestly, Valeria is completely unnecessary. Use any fighter. You could be using like a Volker, Salazar, whatever fits. You'll see it's not that hard on the fight. Yep, Merry Christmas. Alrighty, so the way we're going to do this is by first waiting for 25 costs, so we can play Hex and Mary simultaneously. Then obviously there's some slight RNG involved on if Hex can or can't defeat these guys. But he should be fine. And then now comes the interesting part. We're going to activate all units by using Boreas. I don't even know why he hits them there, but yeah. We'll be going full on mayhem. Hex ultimate active. Mary ultimate saved for these small guys. And then as soon as these guys get closer to around there, we'll activate Boreas' ultimate to wear them down. Which is enough. Whew. And for the next guys here, we'll be using Hex's ultimate again. There we go. Enemies coming in. Boreas ultimate active. Bring in the Mary freeze, because this is a bit too risky for me. And here we go with Valeria. We should have played her earlier. Not gonna lie. Let's hope it's enough. There we go. One dead, Valeria out. Honestly, you could use any fighter, like Salazar, honestly whoever, right? Like it's whoever you want. Just use a fighter that can take care of these guys. It doesn't need to be Valeria, like at all. It's just gonna be an RNG slaughterfest. Just gonna be a usual casual RNG slaughterfest right here. So we'll be waiting for this guy to close in, and as soon as he closes in, we bring in our fighter. to do some nice damage. Job done, perfecto, perfettissimo. Woo. Alright, it is time for stage 2, the epic version, and this time we'll actually be getting 14 out of 16 points with reduced enemy HP being disabled once. And the units we'll be using are Theowin, Idril, Brienne and Maul. Something that I do want to note is that all of those at A5 are pretty much required, especially something that hurts really bad if you don't have it is going to be Maul's A5 for the reduced cost. If you do want to alleviate the awakenings, feel free to take out, for example, the cost generation debuff, or potentially reduce the HP even more. Alright, yeah, here we go, stage number 2, and yeah. In the beginning we'll be bringing in Theowin, and the next one is going to be to bring in Brienne. So there we go. Now you can actually fast forward time a bit here, but it is very important that you pay attention to 17 cost. So as soon as we hit 15 cost, we're actually going to slow down time, and as soon as we hit 17, Maul needs to be placed. If you do not, this whole run is going to fall apart and it's not going to work. Alright, and 11. Here we go. So, the whole reason why 17 is so important, the 17 cost, is you're going to see it right here. If you place Maul at 17, you'll have this one frame of opportunity where you're able to hit all enemies with a single ultimate, and that is not going to be the last time you see Maul's ultimate for this run. So now we have these big guys, and to deal with those big guys, we'll actually just let our units attack the first one, and then if the chunky boy, or like the bigger one of the two closes in, that is when we ult with Theowin. So now for Maul, you need to wait for him to charge up his like ice shots. You see them by basically this one should be it. So there you go, ice shot, and that is when you actually use his ultimate. The reason for that is because we need the defense down. We need the defense down applied, and then Maul is going to be able to take care of those units. Alrighty. This is going to be the tricky part. This is going to be the part where you might even need to restart once, twice, 3, 4 times. Because this one is going to get pretty tight. So, as soon as we can, we will be going with Theowin's ultimate. And now you're actually going to click on Maul, but you're not going to trigger the ultimate until this guy passes half. So you wait for half the timer on the top mob. And here we'll be waiting for both enemies to enter Brienne's range to then trigger her ultimate. Alright, perfect. So here we'll actually be activating Idril's ultimate. The reason for Idril's ultimate is so that we can get some extra rage on Maul, and overall Idril's ultimate is just very helpful at keeping enemies from running into your core, which she hopefully does. Come on Idril, don't screw me up. Oh shit. See, this is what I mean, I'll be back. Alright, here we go once more, same exact run, basically same timings. And we let the enemies close in. Time to use Brienne. And then it's actually time to activate Idril. The reason why we activate Idril is to get some extra rage on Maul, because Idril provides 5% rage for Maul. And then it's basically just spam Clickerino. Ah, there we go. Fuck yeah, you don't even want to know how long I've been trying for this stage. Alright, yeah, here we go. stage 2, 16 full condition clear, whatever, right? We'll be going in with a Brienne, a Silas. Oh yeah, important part, right? Bonds are deactivated, so you just need to have Silas, he doesn't need to be bonded. So yeah, Brienne at A5, Maul at A5, Silas at A0, Nyx at A0. That is all we are going to need. Straight off the bat, we'll be starting off with Brienne into Silas. And then it's going to be the usual wait for 16 cost, slow down time, take Maul for 17, put him in. There we go. And then we can fast forward time up until the point where we have 22 cost to place in Nyx. Now, luckily enough, Silas and Brienne are quite strong, so we only need to trigger their ultimates exactly once this whole fight, which means we can put our full attention towards the left side, because that is by far the way more dangerous and difficult one. So there we go. And then the Maul ultimate. Kabuya. Luckily enough, even those big guys get shredded by Brienne plus Silas combo. And then here we want to ult early so that Maul and Nyx have as much time as possible to regenerate their ultimates. Alright, nice. And now we gotta pay attention right here. So there's going to be 3 fishies, and when the third fishy crosses the corner, that means he's going to enter Brienne's range, so right about now. And then we're just going to use the ultimate to hit all of those. And then with Maul we gotta pay attention to these fishies, and we'll be waiting for around half, and that's when we trigger his ult. There we go. Now with Silas we're going to wait until around a third. It should be right now. Could have been a bit earlier actually. And here we'll be going with Nyx ultimate. And if everything goes well, this should have already been it. Oh, come on! What the fuck is this? Ah. Okay, we are back with this part, and yeah, just for your interest, I'll be putting an outtakes part at the end that shows a couple of my reactions to a few RNG related things happening in this run. So yeah, here with the Maul ult you want to hit everyone, right? You want to hit these guys, you want to hit those guys, and that's our goal, right? Now with Silas we'll be waiting for around a third. The goal is to wait for around a third of the ultimate bar, of the like movement whatever bar, and then we're good. Right here with Nyx we'll be going early, so we can already start hitting into these guys. And then that hopefully, finally, is going to be a fucking enough. Hey, if this guy doesn't die, I don't know. Woo! Yeah! You'll see in the outtakes why I'm so happy about this shit. Alright, time for stage 3, the final stage of this video, and with the first free-to-play team we'll be going for 14 points actually. So yeah, 14 points, and this is the team. Now let me actually not hide a couple units here, right? So, Lunaria, pretty much key. Brienne, key. Mary, key. Maul, key. Abizu is actually quite important. Unless you have a legendary AoE mage to swap in for her, Abizu is basically your only solution, because what's her face? Aeon absolutely does nothing here. Then we have Hollow, and lastly we have Dolores. So, let's get straight into the stage and let's get this last free-to-play clear going. Alright, so straight off the bat we will be starting in with Brienne. So we can take care of these mages. Now the whole key to this stage is utilizing this one tile right here, and as you might know from the Esotericist faction trial if you've played it long enough or far enough, if an ultimate gets triggered on that tile, every unit actually takes true damage. Now because we have the 50% true damage resistance, the true damage isn't nearly as big, but it still plays an important role. So as you've seen, we've been placing in Mary, and now it's time for Abisu. Here we can fast forward time, and even though it looks close, it isn't close. Nah, but there might even be a rotation where this is a bit closer than it looks. So here we start off with Brienne's ultimate to actually stop these mages from stealing Abisu's ult gauge, because Abisu's ult gauge up is obviously quite helpful. Next off, it's Maul all the way at the top, and here Abisu can then use her ult gauge, get the extra true damage and kill the enemies. Now Maul is safely secured at the top, and we bring in Hollow to help heal him and also to provide some extra rage region to Brienne. Next off, we gotta bring in Dolores. The main reason why we're using Dolores isn't necessarily for invigoration, but the fact that she can heal all our units, and that is rather convenient. So, Maul ult timing. We're going to trigger Maul when these two mages, these two right here, step into their tile. So there we go. Time for Maul ult, and after the Maul ult we're going to go with the Hollow ult. Next off, we bring in Lunaria, facing down here. So now we have Lunaria and Abisu to help out against these guys there. Alright, here we can fast forward. And then it's once more time to obviously reduce the speed and activate Brienne's ultimate. Maul's ultimate too, because these guys again entered the tile. Perfect. And yeah, here we go. So far so good. Like, honestly, Lunaria's animations are really cool. It's so sad that her damage numbers do fall flat, but this makes this mode even nicer, because honestly, like, she is really useful here. She's really good here. So, once more, mages enter the tile, use ult, refresh, rage, fast forward time, pay attention to Brienne. So, mages enter the tile, use ult, and let's have a look at Brienne. Alright, so the guys come out. Second set of guys, Brienne ult. There we go. Only Dolores ult is getting sacrificed, and luckily enough we aren't actually in need of hers. Okay, now once more we increase Maul's rage, and we try to pay attention to if we actually need to trigger a certain ultimate. At the bottom there, mainly obviously referring to Mary's. Once more, everything looks quite nice, everything looks clean. Mages come in, same thing, we wait for the mages to enter the tile, that they do, and kill. Also the freeze is like really nice crowd control. So 53 out of 61 enemies. Once more, time to regenerate Maul's rage. And here we're actually going to have to let one of the mages pass, or maybe even two of them, because there really just wasn't another choice or other chance. So, For the last guys closing in, we're going to wait a bit so that more people are able to be hit. But here it's time to trigger Dolores ult, because these mages, they don't necessarily take all that much magic damage. So we might as well take what we can get and increase our damage as much as possible. There we go, nice freeze. Here we can once more increase the ultimate. Not that it's necessarily all that useful. Abizu with hers. The true damage coming in clutch. And then for the very last part we can also trigger Brienne's ult to help out. Please. Fuck yeah, there we go. So, stage done. 14 out of 16 points, epics only. Alright, time for stage 3, 16 out of 16. Boreas Eye Hollow Razak. So, there is some RNG here. The higher awakened your Razak, the less of a problem this RNG factor actually is. But if you like me here are using an A0 Razak, it's going to take a bit of luck, because we need those soul fishes. We need these soul fishies to actually help us clear out these mages rather fast. So come on, because we want to basically insta place. Boreas. Yeah, that isn't insta placing. That is a bit unfortunate. But I guess it depends. It depends on if Boreas wants to bless us with a bit of his talent. So, alright, that works quite well. And then we ult. So now no one should be able to pass here for the moment. And yeah. Because we don't need our ultimates here that badly, we'll be bringing Razak back in. Razak is going to take care of those guys, and after that, then we'll bring in Hollow. Hopefully, in time to save Eye. There we go. And now we just need to pay attention to the bottom lane. And obviously to our ult gauges. So right here we'll be going with Hollow. And here we can Razak ult to take care of most of these disgusting mages that would steal our rage. And then we gotta do it, I think, once, maybe twice more, but we gotta pay a bit more attention and try to actually hit the enemies when 6 are out, when basically all 6 of them are out, because Razak is most likely going to die here against this overabundance of mages. Hollow shouldn't be able to actually keep him alive long enough. So yeah, we kinda want this. Oh, come on. Maybe he holds out. Okay. Yeah, we can wait a tiny bit here. Oh, is that fucking close? But it worked. Somewhat. Now I is getting pummeled. Ay ay ay. And no, that was not a name pun. Oh, what a level. And the worst part isn't even over. And we're not going to have any ultimates for it. Ay ay ay. Come on, Boreas. Give us a miracle. Kill that mage. No. Annoying. Can we somehow use Razak better? Okay, perfect. And then we face Razak inwards. So we can take care of the mages that are hidden in there somewhere. And somehow, with the power of friendship, this is going to work. Yay! Power of friendship! Woo! So yeah, we did it! Have fun trying that yourself. Good job, please. Once more. Ah! Alright, so we ulted too early with Nyx. Might be better the other way around. Go Maul, go Maul, hit him one more time. Ah, fuck you. Oh, Silas, you dickhead. Ah, unlucky. Let's see, can Nyx actually clear them by herself? No. Ooh, unlucky. And if the enemies stay alive longer, we have more chances to actually regenerate rage. Come on, Maul, one more time. Ah, screw you. Alright, here we are in the same situation once more. So we can hopefully catch that last guy. Which doesn't quite seem to fit into Nick's business plan, doesn't it? Actually stays active this time. Oh, okay.